Inside one of the hangars at the Pima Air and Space Museum sits a bomber many visitors walk past without realizing just how important it really was. This is the Douglas B-18 Bolo, an aircraft that often lives in the shadows of the B-17 and B-24, yet once stood at the very center of America's bomber development. Back in the mid-1930s, the U.S. Army Air Corps issued a call for a new long-range bomber. Competing for that contract were two very different visions of the future. Boeing's all-metal four-engine Model 299, the prototype that would become the war-winning B-17, and Douglas's more conservative, a twin-engine design derived from the new DC-2 airliner, grandfather of the fantastic DC-3. And in one of the most surprising decisions in Army aviation history, it was the Douglas entry that won. The reason wasn't performance. Everyone knew the Boeing was faster, stronger, and clearly pointed toward the next generation, but the Army was working with tight budgets, and the Douglas design was thousands of dollars cheaper per aircraft. It was easier to maintain, used proven parts, and the Army believed it could be delivered quickly in large numbers. In an era where reliability and affordability mattered just as much as raw power, the B-18 Bolo became the new standard bomber of the United States. When deliveries began in 1937, the B-18 looked modern enough. A streamlined fuselage, a crew of 6, 3 defensive gun positions, and the ability to carry up to 4,400 pounds of bombs. But even at the moment it entered service, the Bolo was already reaching its limits. Its two Wright Cyclone engines simply couldn't give it the speed, ceiling, or protection needed as world tensions grew. Still, the Army Air Corps flew it because it was what they had, and for a short time, the B-18 was the frontline bomber of the United States. It trained crews, built doctrine, and kept the bomber force alive during a period of rapid change. Then came December 7, 1941. The B-18's greatest weakness, its vulnerability, was exposed across the Pacific. Many were destroyed on the ground during the opening strikes against U.S. bases. Those that survived were quickly pulled out of frontline bombing units and shifted into roles where their reliability mattered more than their speed. And in these roles, the Bolo found a second life. Assigned to long-range anti-submarine patrols in the Caribbean and Atlantic, the B-18D variant, equipped with radar and a modified nose, became an unexpected U-boat hunter. In early 1942, one B-18 even achieved the rare distinction of sinking a German submarine with depth charges, proving that this so-called stopgap bomber still had value in the right mission. By late 1942 and into 1943, more advanced aircraft like the B-17, B-24, and B-25 took over its duties, and the B-18 faded from combat service. Many were converted into transports. A handful continued anti-submarine operations. Others were used for training until parts wore thin and technology moved on. After the war, a few Bolos made their way into civilian life as cargo haulers and regional transports, though not many survived. Today, only a small number remain intact, and the aircraft here at Pima, an anti-submarine version, is one of the best preserved examples anywhere. It may not have been the biggest, fastest, or strongest bomber of its day, but the B-18 Bolo filled a crucial gap at a time when the United States desperately needed an operational bomber in the air. It trained the crews who would later fly America's great wartime machines. It guarded coastlines in the dark months of early 1942, and it stands today as a reminder that not every important aircraft wears the crown of a legend. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more of our aviation content.